herself to be, I think she's proven herself to be profoundly stupid.
And joining me now to talk about the left's war on women, Fox News contributor, USA Today columnist Kirsten Powers, the author of a brand new book, terrific book, which actually deals in many ways with this topic, Blacklash, How Obama and the Left are Driving Americans to the Government Plantation. Fox News contributor Deneen Borelli. Guys, good to see you. Deneen, good to see you.
Great to be here.
You know, you started out your book, and the introduction of your book, you said, if we Google your name, and you're a conservative woman, and you're an African-American conservative, you say, the first thing that's going to come up is black, teabagging, N-word, or one of the first things will come up.
Yes, it's in the top 5. And, you know, black conservatives, it's a huge double standard when it comes to black conservatives. I'm not even running for office, and I am criticized and demonized on a regular basis. I don't get a phone call from President Obama protecting me about anything. But when you look at it, we had President Reagan, who saw our country as a shining city on a hill. President Obama is bringing our country down to the dim light in the valley, and this is the message I am trying to communicate to people. His policies are harming our country. Anytime anyone comes out and criticizes President Obama, they're called a racist.
Yeah, you know, and I got to give you, Kirsten, you have been so consistent on this issue over the years, and you've been on this program. We've had our political disagreements. Your column,
Oh, yeah.
well, occasionally, once in a while, one slight disagreement among friends.
Pretty much every time I'm on.
But you really have been consistent. And I got to be honest, too, it's funny because when Ed Schultz said those remarks and Laura Ingraham accepted the apology, I said, enough, stop. I said it at the time. Same thing, you know, Bill Maher. I've never said to fire him. I never said I wanted Media Matters shut down. I think people should apologize. I think it's the right thing to do. I've never asked this guy, Bill Maher, to apologize. I asked him he should apologize. I've never asked that he be fired, and here's just a small sampling of the things he said.
Sarah Palin finally heard what happened in Japan, and she's demanding that we invade tsunami. I mean, she says these tsunamians will not get away with this. No. Oh, speaking of dumb, after the debate where this came up, she had a discussion with a woman who came to her after the debate and said that her daughter had taken the vaccine and become, from the vaccine, mentally retarded. And Michelle Bachmann said, Mom?
If you had a choice, a gun to your head, which one is it? Palin or
I would need a gun to my head. I hope Sarah Palin gets in so that they split the MILF vote.
All right, so here's the question. As this has now come up once again, this double standard. You come to this debate from the left side of the aisle.
Yeah.
Why is there this double standard?
Well, I would also like to point out that Hillary Clinton is not a conservative, and she certainly got her fair share of this as well during the 2008 election, because all of the pro-Obama people felt it was fair game to attack her with sexist attacks and misogynist attacks. So, but I think overall, it's usually a proxy war for liberalism or the Democratic Party is what it looks like, and that's what's frustrating. People come out and they say, oh, we're really all about women, and we really stand up for women, which is frankly what I was raised being told, Sean, in my hyper-liberal family that I was raised in by a feminist mother, was always told the Democrats were the good guys, you know, and they stood up for women, and what you see is that they stand up when it suits them. But if it's going to go after a person who they like and, you know, whose show they like to go on or whose show they like to attend and who they think is doing a good job getting their views out, they just, you know, they complain. I don't want to say they don't complain. I don't want to say that they never say anything about it. It's just they don't bring the big guns out for it. You know, they don't really go after them in a serious way.
It's mute. It's on very, very mild. And you've experienced...
Very selective.
Well, I call it selective moral outrage and hypocrisy, because it really is.
Absolutely. And, you know, anyone should be able to speak out and criticize our leader. I don't care what color he is. We have $15 trillion in debt. Unemployment is unacceptably high, especially in the black community. And his policies are not growing the economy, and they're not creating jobs. So people have the right to criticize. We have 46 million Americans on food stamps. People are hurting. We need leadership, and that is not what we're getting from President Obama.
Kirsten, I'll give you the last word here, because I think this is really, really important for people. There seems to be an effort now, well-funded, well-organized, to only go after conservatives that say things. You have so many comparable examples, and you put all of these in your column, and you don't see the same effort. Is the goal here to silence conservative voices because they don't like them? Is that what it
Yeah.
is? Or to silence
I mean,
Denise Borelli?
It obviously is. I don't know how anybody could say otherwise. And I see a lot of liberals getting very defensive about this today over my column. But look, they'll say, oh, well, Bill Maher doesn't have advertisers. So what? Just don't go on a show.
He
works
just
for
gave $1 million. Wait, he just gave $1 million to Obama's PAC.
Yeah, but they'll make every excuse in the world, and it's just like, but you don't need, you can just not go on a show, you cannot go to a show, he could return the money, whatever. It's ridiculous. It's clearly just a proxy war for liberalism in the Democratic Party. I don't know how you can see it any other way.
Should President Obama, he got involved and he called this woman, should the president have called Sarah Palin? Should the president call Denise Borelli? Should the president ask his PAC to give back the $1 million to Bill Maher?
Look, the president called her because it was good politics for him. He's not responsible for what Bill Maher says. I do think, generally, but I do think that they should return the money. The PAC should return the money. Look, if he had gone after a black person that way, that was a liberal, and used liberal slurs, it would be intolerable. It would not be acceptable.
No sense
and he would have to be able to return the money.
He has other things he should be concerned with. Our national
It makes sense
the high tax rates that are going on, the regulations, his horrible energy policy, and he's calling this woman because of what she thinks she's entitled to. It's outrageous.
All right, and by the way, a lot of this is this is a great book. Blacklash, How Obama and the Left Are Driving Americans to the Government Plantation. Sure to create controversy again.
Absolutely.
Denise Borelli, and thank you, Kirsten, great column. And coming up in just a few minutes, we expect the Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Benjamin Netanyahu. He's going to be taken to the podium and delivering a speech at the AIPAC conference. When that happens, we'll bring it to you live. And still to come tonight, we investigate Sandra Fluck's claim that contraceptive costs are upwards of $3,000 during law school. Is her math off? And later, we begin the work of the mainstream media, what they refuse to do, as we begin to vet the man that coasted into the White House with no experience, no voting record, as we kick off Project 2012, the vetting of Obama, right here on Hannity.
This is the age of knowing what you're made of. Why let erectile dysfunction get in your way? Talk to your doctor about Viagra. Ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing. This is the age of taking action. Viagra. Talk to your doctor.
What's happened to us? How did we end up here, at the mercy of a power outlet? Come on, people, we're better than this. I'm talking to you. And you. Off the floor, everyone. Up, up, up. Now boarding business class now boarding.
It's time for an Ultrabook with the longest battery life, the HP Folio. Inspired by Intel and powered by the Intel Core i5 processor, starting at $9.99. Get yours at participating partners.
How do you trade? With Scott Trader streaming quotes any way you want. Fully customize it for your trading process. From thought to trade on every screen.